Hey, welcome. So we are going to walk through how to build your multiples of me project using Photoshop and layer masks. So I'm going to go ahead and open Photoshop here. And remember, Photoshop is a huge program, so just be patient when it opens. Give it a couple secs. And I think you might have a little different version on your computer, but it should be so close that we should match up just fine. All right, we're just going to go to Create New. And you can choose any size you would like. I usually like to have our resolution at 300, just in case I ever want to print. And for this example, the orientation is going to be horizontal. So let's make sure we have that set as horizontal. And I'm just going to name this multiples of me practice dog. We are going to use those dog photos in our practice session here. It takes a moment to load the new canvas, so just wait a couple secs. All right, so this time we're going to import our images by going to File and Place Embedded. We're just going to choose one at a time, so it creates a new layer each time. I'm just going to keep it at this size so they're all imported the same size and shape right now. We can always trim the canvas later if we need. All right, so we're going to go back and place embedded, and I have number 1. So now I'm going to go to 2, place, and remember you have to press enter or the check mark, either one. Okay. File, and use the drop down menu to go ahead and place embedded, and I'm going to choose 3 and enter. And 4, this time I'll use a check. So you can use check or enter, it does the same thing. And place embedded. And this is named 6 instead of 5, so just so you know, it's fine. I saved it a little differently in your Schoology, so you should have 5. All right, so this time we're just going to use 5 photos. That's how many you need to have in your regular project. So here's the cool part. Okay, down here, if you wanted to add an extra layer, you could use this little button here to create a new layer. But we want to create a layer mask for each of these layers. So as you can see, I've selected layer 1, or it's named layer 1. It happens to be layer number 1 as well, all the way on the bottom. And I'm going to select layer mask. And what it's going to do is it's going to show a layer mask right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create a layer mask for each of these. And then we'll go through and I'll teach you how to use these layer masks. And you might already know how to do this, but we're going to do this together. If you need to follow along more than once, you're more than welcome to watch this again if you need. All right, so each of these have a white layer mask. Okay, so actually I need to go over here and make sure my paints are set, and I think actually the shortcut is Control D. It might be Option D. I get confused between the Mac and the PC, so we'll just go ahead and pick white. Okay, so these are our these are the colors for our brushes. All right, so as you can see, I have selected number 6, and actually what I want to do is I'm going to take off the ability to see these layers, except for this first layer. Okay, So this is really acting like my backdrop as well right now. That's my bottom layer. Okay, so we're just going to leave that 100%, and it's going to be showing through the whole time. All right. Well, wait a second though. Now we have this one on top of it. So number one, it's like a sheet of paper on your table. And then you put another sheet of paper on top of that first sheet of paper. So it's all covered up. So right now we need to do some work on the layer mask. So you need to select the layer, and then we're going to select the layer mask. So you see how these little lines is like a rectangle around the layer mask. Make sure the actual layer mask is selected. Now we're going to go over here and choose the paintbrush. Okay. Look at all of these have changed here all of a sudden. All right. This, we need to switch it to brush tool. Okay. So I'm familiar with where these tools are. So even though it said it was color replacement tool, I can just click with 2 fingers on the pad and then switch it to brush tool. All right, because I need my brush tool. All right, excellent. So now we're working on this layer. I want to make this brush size a little bit smaller. And the hardness, I'm going to bring it all the way up to 100% so I'm able to erase things. All right, so let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's turn this off for a second. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn off this layer because if I'm erasing the top layer, it's going to be really difficult for me to see what I'm doing. So like here, I can see I'm moving around, but if I have this bottom layer on, it's really hard for me to see. So I'm just going to take that off. And then I'm painting on top of here so that I'm just going to leave the dog and his shadow. And all right. So I'm erasing all of this. See if this is working. Because right now, if I go like this, we can't see the other dog, right? Because this layer is covering up the top layer. So what I'm doing is I'm taking away some of the picture. So I'm just going to leave this second dog and his shadow. Okay, I guess I could move up to a little bit bigger brush size. All right. Just make sure you leave a shadow because that looks more realistic. All right, now I'm going to adjust the size of the brush. I'm also going to adjust the hardness. So I have a little bit of a soft edge there. So when I go around the dog, it looks a little bit more natural. Even though these are all of the same background, so you won't see much of a difference there, but just for good practices, let's do that. Look at that, I have 2 dogs. Nice. Okay, so now I'm going to take off layer 1 and layer 2, and I want to look at layer 3. So I'm going to select layer 3, and I'm going to select the layer mask. All right, and I am going to go ahead and move this brush size up so I can cover a lot at once. And as you can see, I've actually painted black on this layer mask, okay? So it's taking this away, all right? So you can kind of see, it looks like I'm painting white because I'm taking it away, but just think of painting black or dark. You can't see it, all right? You can't see in the dark. So that'll remind you that you can't see this part of the picture now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change the size of the brush again. And I see I left a little bit of the hardness, so this is a little bit softer the whole time, and it's totally fine. It's just not going to take all the color away or all the photo away right away. So, okay, trying to leave a shadow there. All right, let's see how that looks. Got 2, and we've got 3. Nice. Okay, let's do it again. Let's look at layer 4 and go ahead and highlight that layer. Remember, whenever you're trying to work on a specific layer, you need to have that highlighted or selected in the layer panel. Right now, this the image is selected, okay, and it is a smart object, and that's allowing us to work with the image without it lowering its quality, okay? And that's also why we're using this paint tool, because then we could go switch back and get our paint back. Before, when we use the eraser, we're actually just taking that part of the picture away, and we can never get it back. So it's kind of like cutting out, like using scissors and cutting something out. So this is the better way to do this. All right, so I've selected the layer, and now I need to select the layer mask so I can work on it. And I'm going to paint the black again. So I'm not going to be seeing a lot of this picture. All right. All right. If we flip these colors, see how it goes back? And so you can think about the white, even though you don't really see it painting white, but the white you can think about as light, and you can see it. So now we're using white. See this top color here? Now we can see our photo. Okay, we'll switch back, and now we're using the black, and now we can't see that part of the photo. All right. And it's kind of cool because you can see over here in the layers panel, you can see what we're doing here. I'm going to make the brush smaller again. And just get around here. Remember to leave a shadow. If you ever work with people, animals, objects, anything, and there's shadows, you always want to keep the shadows intact. Shadows make a huge difference in photography. So always want to make sure those are intact. Okay, let's check it out. There's 1 dog. There's 2 dogs. There's 3 dogs. And there's 4 dogs. Nice. All right, let's do our 5th dog. All right. I'm going to click the little eye. It just means that we can't see that. Okay. Then I'm going to select the layer 6. Yours will be layer 5. And then go ahead and click the layer mask. And again, remember, I'm going to use black so I can't see the picture that I'm working with. I'm using black so that gets it out of our way. All right. And I hope you have so much fun building your own multiples of me. And then I want to challenge you to do another project on your own that is using layer masks. And I want to hear about what you used and if you're kind of building a passion for this. So I hope you are. It's just, I think you'll find it to be so much fun, and it's just a fabulous skill in any line of work. All right. This nice and close. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and make all of these layers visible. 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Nice. So looks like one of my dogs is a little bit lighter there, and I'm not sure why. Looks like it's this mask. I'm going to just go through and see and make sure that one looks okay. Just looks a little bit light to me. Oops. Oh, actually, it's okay, I think. Yep. Let's make sure I'm not covering it. Oh, that's why. I think that. Okay. I figured it out. Okay, so on this other layer, that front dog layer, let's see here. Might be this layer too. I want to go in and make sure the hardness is up on this, and I have a large brush. Okay, I need to make sure I click. I need to make sure I click on the mask before I use this. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing. Oops, not on that one. On this one. Okay, I'm going to go back onto that mask, and I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here. All right, there we go. I think what happened was I didn't have the opacity at 100% at some point. He's still looking pretty light there. Well, anyway, so that is pretty darn good. And all right, so we have all of our doggies there on the dock for multiples of me. And then you will go ahead and save. And remember, you can save to your cloud documents or to your computer. When we are back in school, actually, you'll be using your own computer, so it'll be up to you. Go ahead and save on your computer or on the cloud documents. That's fine. I'm just going to save onto my computer today. And then via recording. All right. Okay. And then also you'll want to save a copy. Go ahead and save as, and make sure you remember where you're saving it so you'll be able to turn this one in. You'll want to save it as a JPEG, please. And this is perfect. Quality 5. For turning something in, that's perfect. If you wanted to print this as a large file, let's say you created this amazing piece of art, like you were combining a couple different photographs, adding some text, all of this, you would want to bring it up to, probably a 10, 11, or 11 to save that if you're printing it as a large print. But printing really anything like a 4x6, 5 is perfectly fine. So go ahead and click OK. And so this will be the image you'll turn in as a JPEG. All right, hope you had fun. I will see you soon. Oh, you know what? One more thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this clip. If you're having difficulty bringing in some photos, make sure you go to Edit, down to Preferences, and within Preferences, it'll be General. And you'll want to make sure that these different boxes are checked. Okay, so let me show you that really quick. Under Edit and Preferences, go up to General, click that. And then you'll want to make sure that these boxes are clipped because you want to be able to resize image during place, and you'll want to create a smart object when placing as well. All right, so that's a little hint if it hasn't been working for you. Fabulous work. I'll see you soon. Bye.